Hey, let me ask you if teams have talked to you about this, or if this is your decision in terms of the drills, in terms of wide receiver, DB drills. Have you decided how that might work?
Yeah, just go work out with both.
Are you going to do both? Okay, all right.
That's what they're telling me to do, but no, I'm not
You
doing
okay with that?
here. I'm not doing anything here. I'm waiting till my pro day.
Oh, okay, even better. Now we got you. Thank you for that.
Well, you heard that breaking news right there. Colorado two-way star Travis Hunter telling our HQ crew that it is not his intention to be doing any on-field drills in Indianapolis for the Combine. Our guys with the first pick have been on set all week long in Indy. What do they have to say about this breaking news and Hunter's decision? Let's find out.
With the first pick here in Indianapolis 2025 Combine, Ryan Wilson, Douzable. Our guy, Petagna from 247. So we just heard from Travis Hunter, and I think we broke a little news here, Lige. Travis informed us that he's going to work out his pro day, not at his Combine. Shout out to producer Noah for getting that question in. So what are your first impressions of that?
Not overly surprised. You know, a lot of the top guys are going to go most likely top 5 group. They don't work out at, the Combine. They work out at their pro day where they're more comfortable right now. I did like your follow-up question because you asked him, is he going to work out as a receiver? Is he going to work out as a cornerback? And he said NFL teams want him to do both. So not overly surprised he's not going to work out here. We already heard Shedeur Sanders is not going to throw here. Abdul Carter, we know he has an injury that just came out. He's not going to work out here. He was coming off a shoulder injury anyway, so he wasn't going to work out. But not overly surprised that Travis Hunter isn't working out.
So Lige Coop knows these guys from high school,
correct,
through the college experience, through the portal, and then once they get to the NFL. So you've had a personal journey with Travis Hunter, so to speak. I would imagine based on the years you've seen Travis play, you're not necessarily concerned about what his NFL future looks like while he works out of the Combine?
No, not at all. But I'm a little curious because you go all the way back to high school. We don't have verified metrics on Travis Hunter.
Okay.
Right? So this is a guy that never ran track and field. He played basketball. He was a dominant player. But we've never seen a 40. So I'm curious. We know he's fast. How fast is it going to be? Is it going to be low 4.3s? Is it going to be high 4.2s? He's going to be in the upper echelon, obviously, of testing. We're going to have to wait till pro day. I was eager to see it, so more curious. I don't think it matters either way.
It'd be interesting. Does he actually do the 40?
I was going to say, what if he runs a 4.4?
I mean, what if he doesn't run at all?
I'm fine with that.
I can see him not running at all because, to your point, Coop, when you turn on the tape, he's plenty of fast, right? You see him separate at receiver, at corner. You see him being able to trigger and get downhill. He understands route concepts. He's just a great football player. So, whether he runs a 4, even if he runs a 4.4, I don't think teams will actually care because that's plenty enough speed.
And I keep coming back to it, and we keep forgetting. I have to keep reminding ourselves. Brian Branch, Kyle Hamilton didn't run great 40 times. Cooper Kupp, great players. Puka Nacua, we sometimes overthink it. So if I don't, I'm gonna put this on. My bold prediction. I don't care if Travis Hunter runs a 4.8. I'm taking him top 3 all day long,
no matter what.
But I want to talk to Coop because again, I said Coop has a vast understanding of these players for years, and you went into the 247 archives, and you have some deep cuts in terms of playing percentage and what that balance might look like for Travis Hunter, who played on average, it felt like 120 snaps a game last year for Colorado.
Yeah, it's interesting. You go all the way back to high school, and Lige and I were kind of talking about it. This was a guy that was extremely productive. 3,600 yards receiving throughout his career at Collins Hill in Georgia. He had 46 touchdowns. He had 19 INTs. So he's been doing it at a high level for a really long time. You look at his snap count, though. Over the last 2 years, 1,400 plus this year, 2023 over 1,100, right? So you think about that, and then you go all the way back to high school. Missed 5 games with an ankle injury. You go to his freshman year, missed 5 games at Jackson State with another lower extremity, lacerated liver, right, just a year before, and then 2 games this year he couldn't finish. So I think it comes down to durability,
right,
and how do you protect Travis Hunter. So as much as the conversation wants to be about, hey, this guy's going to be a two-way guy, but in a 17-game regular season, how do you protect him?
Right.
How do you get the most out of him? And how do you maximize a profit? That's going to be the conversation.
Hey, before you go, I want you to answer this, but we talked about this in the fall. One of the, not necessarily concerns you had, but one of the things you were interested to see was how does a slight frame go up against the A.J. Brown playing press man, for example. But to Cooper's point, how does that translate into load management, to borrow an NBA term? Yeah, so to answer your first question, me and Cooper are actually having this conversation. And when you talk about him measuring up to a former player, Sauce Gardner is kind of like right, same type of frame. And that's what people are worried about with Sauce Gardner. Like with physical receivers, would he get knocked off the ball? Well, he put back-to-back all-pro seasons together, so that wasn't an issue for him as well. And then you worry about, could he stay healthy with that slight frame? Not only because of all the snaps he's taken on offense and defense, but just because body type, right? And then we saw Sauce
Miles Garner, this was kind of like the first year he was kind of banged up. Other than that, he didn't miss any time. So I don't think that's overly concerned. The thing is, with teams in a 17-game season, like you said, Coop, you got to be cognizant of how many snaps you're putting on his body, right? It's one thing to do that at the college level, which, again, is unheard of, but these are grown men in the NFL, right? You're playing receivers, physical guys are going to try to jam you at the line of scrimmage. You're playing cornerback, physical guys like A.J. Brown are trying to get off the press, right? That wears on your body. So, yes, I know Travis Hunter wants to play both sides of the football, but I think for him to get the best out of Travis Hunter, he's going to have to be on one side of the ball and maybe moonlight on the other side.
I just want to say this quickly. We just showed a graphic for people listening of most receptions by a player in NFL history with 10 or more interceptions. Dion, Pat P, Mike Vrabel made the list. That's how much of a baller.
That's hilarious.
Mike Vrabel
tied in the red zone.
That's right. Came out of Ohio State, played for the Steelers for a while, and obviously made his bones in New England. I also want to come back to you, Coop, because you talked on the walk over here about the Deion Sanders connection in terms of the two-way and all that he was able to do. In 1996, something happened, I believe?
Yeah, I was 4 years old, so I had to dig it up a little bit. But, I mean, you go all the way back to his head coach at Colorado, Jackson State, 1996, Deion Sanders, 50% of offensive snaps he played, 80% of defensive snaps. Now, the biggest thing we keep...
All right, breaking news here on CBS. Our guys with the first pick, getting it done in Indianapolis, asking the right questions. Travis Hunter not participating on-field drills at the Combine. For more reaction on that, you got to check out their pod. They are going to be talking about this for hours at a time. You know these guys can go scan that QR code right now to hear all the latest. Our former Super Bowl champ, Bryant McFadden, joining us now with this breaking news from the NFL Scouting Combine. We just found out Travis Hunter told HQ that he's not going to be doing any on-field drills while in Indianapolis. B-Mac, it seems like this is more common than not. Are you surprised by this decision?
Not surprised at all, Jenny, Jacqueline. Travis Hunter is the #1 guy in two different positions, at the wide receiver position and at the cornerback position. So it doesn't really make a lot of sense for him to do anything outside of the interviews and the medical. And when you look at who his head coach is, Coach Prime, you know their pro day is going to be a major event. You better believe every star around will be at their pro day, along with every media outlet and, of course, all the general managers, head coaches, and the so on and so forth. So me personally, seeing what top athletes have done in years past, when they're considered #1 at their position, most of those guys are opting out to participate at the Combine, and they will wait until their pro day. And I'm not surprised to hear Travis make that known today on HQ that he's going to wait and get ready to do everything at his pro day in Colorado.
Yeah, so B-Mac, of course, another big storyline here is he going to be a wide receiver? Is he going to be a corner at the next level? And our Aditi Kinkabwala reporting that Travis Hunter told her that his first meeting with the team was as a wide receiver. Maybe a little bit of a corner bias here, but what do you see him as at the next level? Because it feels like, you know, it's back and forth. Some folks think receiver, some think he's better as a corner at the next level. What do you feel in this moment?
I see him as a wide receiver that will play cornerback. I think when he puts the football in his hand, Jacqueline, Jenny, he's a very, very special individual. And we know one thing about wide receivers, they have more of an impact on a ball game than defensive backs. But when you look at how the NFL is orchestrated, when you play cornerback, you're a full-time guy. So I believe he should be a starting cornerback, because if you look at wide receivers in the National Football League, Jenny, Jacqueline, they do not play 100% of the reps. I know firsthand, when I used to play cornerback in the National Football League, it used to really bother me when I had a wide receiver 1 out there, and then, of course, he goes out and he sit down for 2 plays and then bring a backup guy in just to run me off on deep routes to tire me, and then the #1 guy comes back in the game. So, but when you look at the cornerback position, cornerbacks they don't come off the football field unless they're injured. So me personally, whatever team decides to draft Travis Hunter, I'm drafting him as a cornerback because he's going to be my CB1. But he will also be my wide receiver because, like I said, most wide receiver 1s in the National Football League, they're not playing 90% of the snaps, better yet 100%. So you still have an opportunity for him to kind of gain his win, be able to go ahead and freshen up on the sideline a little bit. And then you have different packages for him offensively that he can be utilized in and being able to be a productive player.
I still have to kind of blink twice when I'm looking at the numbers of the snaps on offense and the snaps on defense that we saw from him, 700 plus on both last season. BMAC, we certainly appreciate it. Always good to chat with you here as we're following that breaking news here on HQ. Travis Hunter not participating in those on-field drills at the Combine.
He was asked about playing both positions in the NFL. His response, nobody has ever done it the way that I do it. I'm just different.
He is.
Yes, you are, Travis Hunter. Accurate. Coming up next, more from our 2024 Heisman Trophy winner, Travis Hunter, sitting down with our first pick crew. That's after the break.